Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Bristol Blue. I'm Amy, and today we're going to talk about London Town a little bit, and I'm going to do a little sewing with some foundation paper piecing, and maybe a little London Town. I don't know yet. I thought I had a plan, but I have some things to share. So I do have some Sew Along and Block of the Month announcements and something to share with you that we had discussed the other day, and I couldn't find it, but I have now found what I was looking for. And it's based on the London Town theme, I guess you could say, because that's what caught my eye about it. Is that I'm like all into the British programs. And so I watch a lot of documentaries on the historical figures, and Henry VIII has fascinated me. And so it caught my eye when I saw this foundation paper piece pattern. So let me share that with you. It's called Fancy Lad Quilt Co. They're on Etsy. And she's got Henry VIII right here. And he is just so cute. And then there's a pattern for Catherine Parr, Anne Boleyn, Catherine Howard, Anne of Cleves, Catherine of Aragon. And I'm just fascinated, utterly, utterly fascinated. And oh, the way they have them dressed. I think it's so adorable. Oh, you don't see that. I pulled up one of the patterns. Let's try that again. This one. This is Anne Boleyn. I just think this is just so fast. I really do. And look how big they are. Oh my God. I love these. Absolutely love them. I don't know. I'm kind of on this fence here where all I want to do is foundation paper piecing right now. Or I haven't even started it, but really. But I kind of want to get into a project. Anyway, so enough about that. Let's see. We'll start with Christmas Sew Along. That's starting December 1st. Quilt Along, whatever you want to. It's called a Stitch Along, I believe, with primrings. And it is wool applique and piecing, but they're not tiny little triangles. They're little. So she's only showing you a couple of them, but I think it's daily. So anyway, let's see. Join us for a fun, easy stitch along. Each day beginning December 1st, we'll release a 6-inch blocks for you. When you purchase the kit from us, we are providing the pattern for free, and the patterns will come to you automatically in downloads from each day to the email in your account. This will be a nice treat, and will take a few moments each day. So take a break from all the holiday preparations to be good to yourself. We'll be offering this pattern as a download item only. Once the stitch along is complete, we'll be releasing this as a full pattern. So you'll be able to get each pattern, I believe, for a small fee. But you can also purchase kits, and they range anywhere from $55 to $243, depending on what options you choose. So this is the Countdown to Christmas Stitch Along. If anybody's interested in joining with primitive gatherings, you're into wool applique and some stitching, I'd love to do this. However, again, I don't think I can fit this into my schedule. I don't have the time the time to work and do this at the same time too. So I'm not going to do that this year. I'm going to try to scale things down a bit so that I can throw in things that just kind of pop up, you know. I got to leave some time available on my schedule for those things that just pop up that you just cannot let go. So I have another one I wanted to show you, and it is called Star on the Rise Block of the Month, or Star Rise Block of the Month. And this one is with the Love of Thread. It's for 2025. It shows many colorways too, but this is you got planning worksheets. So it's 12 blocks in 3 sizes that come together for you. Intriguing design. You'll receive a PDF pattern on the 1st of each month. Download it, print it, and piece it. You get planning worksheets. There's live monthly meetups to get together each month to share your wins and get a demo of that month's block, and also answer any questions you might have. You'll get finishing instructions for the final piecing. And she's got signature quilting plans. So here's some color options. Here's like a green and yellow and orange. If you don't quilt along, you'll have don't quilt alone. Okay, don't quilt alone. Star Rise Resource. You'll have immediate access to the welcome module to get you pumped up after December 1st. There's bonuses. It comes in 3 sizes and 5 colorways. Oh my goodness. This is really pretty. A lot of half square triangles. Here's the options to 12-month payment plan and pay in full. Pay in full is really not that bad of a price. Doesn't come with the kit. So I'm supposing the colorways and the kits are separate. But the throw size is 60 by 69. Baby size is 40 by 42. And the large throw is 80 by 92. So that's a really good size quilt. That's a big size quilt. So there, all the links will be provided below because I just was looking at these within the hour before the video. And so I will put those in the links below as soon as this video is over. I will make sure that that gets happened, so I won't close those down. So let's see here. So as you can see, I have my Liberty blocks up on the wall, the ones I have completed. And we did a fabric selection last week for the Cutty Sark. And so I've started cutting the pieces out and getting ready to start sewing them together. And I thought I'd do that this evening, but something came up in discussions this week, and I had made a promise prior to yesterday's video that I would do some foundation paper piecing and kind of do a little how I do things kind of thing. So we'll probably do that. And then if there's some time after I get that taken care of, get those done, that I can get to work so on this. But I thought that Pat Sloan would have done a fabric selection today for the Liberty block, but she hasn't. So I kind of took a little time before the video and went through some of my fabrics, and looking at my blocks, was thinking, okay, what are my colorway options for this one? So what I've kind of started thinking was that I'm going to do pink windows, just like all the other blue ones that I've done, and do them in the same diamond pattern. And I want to use this bright blue as the building where the red is. And then use this pink, kind of fussy cut some of the darker strips out of this for the blue lines on top. and then use the blood gray polka dot. I don't even know yet. I'm kind of up in the air. For the spaces in between, like where the knot windows. I don't know. I've got to go through my stash and see if I have like a white dot. I know I have a white and black dot. Neutral. I'll go through and take a look. And then for the little aqua piece that goes above the door, I can probably pull out some of this green in here. There are some bigger spaces. And if I get a few flowers in there, so be it. But I thought that might be a good starting place anyway, to kind of go with this theme right here. So I'm going to leave that in my book and see where that goes. But I'll put the same, there's a flag on the top of it, which will be the same flag that's on here. And I'm also going to put that on my boat. So the flags will all match. And it's just a ribbon that I got from Joanne or Hobby Lobby or Michael's, something like that. So I'll be going through my stash to see if I have a replacement for this, like a white with a gray dot or black dot or navy blue dot. I think I have a small, tiny dot. So I will start with that for my Liberty building. I can't wait. I can't wait. We're getting to the Union Jack pretty soon. I'm so excited about that. We get to do London transportation next. Taxi and the double-decker bus. So I get to use my red and white check a lot, I think. I hope I have enough. I hope I have enough of that. Otherwise, I may have to go find another red. Anyway, I don't want to look that far ahead. Okay, so this bin can take a little break. And we'll set that aside. And so, yeah, this is my version of my boat. That's pretty close. I like it. So I've got the bird. I have everything cut out with the background. I cut the background as I need it when I'm piecing the pieces together. So that's how I play that. So today, you guys, I had a little mishap in the sewing room today. I had a cup of coffee with me this morning when I was here getting sitting at my table, and I spilled my coffee. So my little journal, I've got coffee stains on everything on the paper. So I think I ruined my book. I'm kind of done with that for now. So that's kind of done. However, the bad thing about it is that the 4-inch papers, I got this wet too for the dragon fruit. However, I'm going to try something here and see. I mean, I think I could still use them. It didn't like change the size of the paper or anything. I'm going to try to iron it, steam it, and see if I can get the little wrinkles out. See if I can still use them. Otherwise, I'm going to have to ask the Fat Quarter Shop to send me another book. That's not good. That is not good. It slipped right out of my hand and fell right on my table. And I told myself I wasn't going to bring another cup of coffee or anything with me. The next time I came upstairs, I brought the coffee. Not even thinking about it. So I'll set that way over there so that I don't have any more mishaps with the coffee. But I'm going to attempt to be able to sew some foundation paper piece blocks here today. I've got fabric is cut for one log cabin, but I don't have anything cut for the economy block yet. So I got of course, now I'm dropping everything. Is it going to be just one of those days today Or this is all this film. At least I think. Oh, and the good thing, my new rug that I got from Temu got some coffee on it too. So I just took a towel and wiped it. Came right off. And this is a washable rug. I don't know how this size rug would fit in my washing machine. I'd probably take it to the laundromat and use one of their big machines to wash it. But I didn't even have any water. It was just a dry towel. And it just came right off. I was just like all impressed. So that was very cool. I was very happy about that. I've got all kinds of good things to say about this rug. So I'm going to go out there and I'm going to I'll have to show you a picture of it. I'll have to go out onto their website and do a little feedback and session on that. So now you can iron the papers, you guys, when you're foundation paper piecing, because when you fold your pieces back on the paper and have to trim things, and when you're done sewing it, you do iron it. So you can iron this paper. So I'm just going to add a little steam to it too to see if I can get it to soften up a little bit because it's got a little hard. But I think I'm going to be able to use it. Look how bad it is. Anyway, let me change this monitor back so that you can see a little bit more on my table here. And it's so soft on my feet. Can't see a whole lot. So, let's see here. I have this bin full of like specialty rulers, and I have a add a quarter ruler in here. It's got a little lip on the edge that helps you cut the 1/4 inch. Good evening, Cocoa Beach. But I don't use it. I just use a regular ruler and the 1/4 inch line on the ruler. So I don't use it, but this does come in handy if you want to use it. It's called add a quarter. I don't know where this one came from. I don't know where I got this one from. But there are rulers for this kind of specialty thing. And I have all kinds of specialty rulers in here and non-specialty rulers because I got a lot of duplicates. I have like a whole bunch of 4-inch square. There's a 4.5 inch square. I have like 6 of these from different vendors. 2 Tula pink ones, 1 creative grid, 1 omni grid. One of these, June Taylor's, 4.5 inch. Here's another one, Fiskars. Why I have them and where they came from, I have no idea. But I have like the little tumbler rulers. I have the pineapple. This one I got from Missouri Star Quilt Company. I love that one. That's the one where I made the pineapple block, this thing that I shared. I've got a bowl cozy template. I've got the basic X in here. I've got all these. I've got a small flying geese block lock ruler. I have a few Dresden plate rulers. Got a lot of little specialty type rulers in here. What else do I have? I have a diamond ruler. I have the sidekick ruler. I don't know what I'm going to do with all these. I have a color wheel too. I have 2 simply folded, what do you call these? Mini simple folded corners. I have 2 of those. I've got my hexagon shapes in here. I've also got a clamshell. Oh, I got a small 60-degree diamond ruler. Did I know I had that? I knew I had the big one. from Krista Mosier. I have the big one. And I use that. I've used it several times. I didn't know I had a small one. But you can use the small one with, you can make the small pieces with the big one. But anyway, I thought while I've got this out, I'll share what's in it. Always ready for anything, and you're feeling whenever you're feeling it. That's right. I am ready. I've got everything I need. What is this one here? Oh, I got this from Town Sampler 5540 templates. I've got all of the instructions in here for each of them. What's this one? Oh, I was wondering what happened to this. I couldn't find it. This is the curvy 4-inch log cabin. I was making some red and white cream ones with laundry basket quilts. And I was looking for the blocks I made and the ruler. Well, I just found the ruler, but I still don't know what I did with all the blocks that I had made. I don't know what I did with those. One day they'll pop up, won't they? I don't know. But anyway, I have got just a menagerie of things in here. I've got templates that I've made out of my own template plastic. Another one that I made, this one here I used as a binding tool. I accidentally cut into it with the rotary cutter. I've got a rotating mat in here. It's broken. Not broken, it just fell apart. Got the last piece in here, but it's a small fat quarter shop one. Oh yeah, it did break off. That's right. It was glued on. So I just take the top. I only need the top. You can use either side too. So I know I got lots of extra things in here. I have a little mini iron and a pair of glasses in here. Okay. So that went off track. So you can also use freezer paper. So that was the other thing that I could do. If this doesn't work, I could trace all of those patterns onto freezer paper and just use the freezer paper. I don't need to buy a new book or have the Fat Quarter Shop send me a new one. I just make it all on freezer paper and do it that way. So I will keep that out. But I think this is going to work just fine. So now I need the fabrics for an economy block. Because I'm going to start with the most simple one first. So I am going to pull out that fabric pack and my pattern. All right. So this is for month 2. This was month 1, but the economy blocks are in month 2. So I'll set that aside. And we'll cut out some fabrics for one of these. Won't take but a second. So it looks like I'll do the mango block and cut out those. That's month 1, month 2. So with cutting, the only thing you have to do, and they don't have to be precise, as long as it is larger than the space that it's got to fill, you're fine. I learned foundation paper piecing, well, the freezer paper method from Sugary Dew. And during a sew along with her years ago, she actually took a copy of the template of what she was foundation paper piecing and cut all the little pieces out without the 1/4 inch and place that on fabric. So, because you can tend to use a lot of fabric when playing with foundation paper piecing, because you want to go bigger than what the size is so that you make sure you fill the whole space. And so she would cut out all of the little pieces and lay them out on the fabric and then trace around those with 1/4 of an inch. So it was like almost exact. So that way you can save on fabric if you want to, if you're stingy with your fabric. With the Fat Quarter Shop, you get plenty of fabric to do this. And I also, if you're a starcher, I don't think it's necessary to starch when foundation paper piecing due to the preciseness of everything involved in this. You can starch if you want to. You're a starcher, you starch. I used to be a huge starcher, but now that I have so many projects, I don't even have time to starch anything. So I don't anymore. And I'm not having any issues whatsoever. I think when it comes to some really small pieces, I might do that. But so let me cut out pieces I need for 1 block. So this is my centerpiece. And I will cut out the size that they say in the book for this. And it doesn't have to be exact. So if you're using, you know, I just kind of make sure that the mark, the size is in the space. All right, so there's my first piece. That goes in the center. I just love this green and blue. It's so pretty. Okay, so I'll put that aside. And then I need two of the same size square in this fabric. And again, it says one size and I'm going like 1/8 of an inch larger or a 32nd of an inch larger. I'm not trying to be too precise. I will iron my piece when I get done with it though. Okay. So there was a project that I was working on and I still have to finish it. So that'll be popping up in my to-do in my program next year. But I was just using jelly roll strips and I would just lay the strip out and I'd fold the paper that I needed the size for and just laid it right on the fabric and just sliced it and used a very large piece, not being very precise at all. So I wasted a lot of fabric there. But I was okay with that. Darn, I had to buy some more. And I did. I had to buy another jelly roll, but it's all good. All right. And then we cut that in half for the outside edges. And again, if it doesn't go corner to corner, it's okay because you oversized it already. All right. So you want to sew on the printed side. So everything the fabric goes on the back side and it is going to be facing forward. What did I just do with this square that I cut? Where'd it go? Oh, there it is. Everything falls on the floor. All right. So I'm going to take my main square and it's going to go on the back with all the print on the outside. And I'm going to put it up to like the light so I can make sure. Now I have to do this because the square is on point. I put it up to the light to make sure that I have at least 1/4 of an inch all the way around the inside of those lines. And you can see it when you put it up to the light. So that way you know where you're placing it. And then I gotta go find my glue stick. I use a glue stick to hold these in place, but you can pin. You can pin it. So I just got Fons and Porter's. I got this at Joann's, and they have glue. And I'm just going to put a dab of glue right in the center of this fabric or the paper. It doesn't matter. Just something to hold it in place so that you can, so it doesn't go anywhere. So it stays right there. Because now you got to, so that was number 1 on there. I just glued that to the back of the paper. And then now I'm going to go to number 2. And I'm going to fold on this line and hold it back. So with that in mind, where is my, so I just have this is from a political mailer. I just cut it down the side of the thing. So I had a nice long piece. And you lay your template, your paper down, and on the 2 line, I just place my little cardboard ruler on the line and then fold the paper back. And some say it is probably a good idea to do all the folding first before you even start putting all of your fabric on it. It just kind of helps with so that you don't have to start new folds in the middle of all this fabric that you have on the back of your paper, because sometimes you can get lots of it. So I've got that folded down, and this part here needs to be trimmed to 1/4 of an inch. So that's where I take my ruler, my 1/4 of an inch line it up right with the paper, and trim it off. And that goes in my trash bin. And then you take that colored piece, which is the background piece, right sides facing, and I'm going to put the edges together. And it doesn't have to be exact, but I just laid that so that the edges were together. And then I make sure, and sometimes you could see in the light, but if not, you put your finger on the point and then fold this up. And if there's fabric sticking out where your fingernail is, you've got plenty of fabric all the way around. And then you just put it in the sewing machine and sew right up against the paper, which should be a full 1/4 of an inch. Perfect. So right next to the paper, and if you sew on the paper, you're okay. But you know what? This is for foundation paper piecing. I mean, for when you're working with the freezer paper. Sorry, hold on. What I should have done is you fold the paper back with those 2 pieces together and then stitch on the line. You stitch all on the line. Stitch on the paper. I had already stitched it. I don't know what I was thinking. See, this is why I'm not a teacher. I think. But it still works. You just stitch on the other lines if you forget. So then once you've got it stitched, you fold your paper over, fold your fabric over, and it should, and then iron it flat, and it should cover all of the outside edge, cover all of the paper, because you're going to trim it down when it's all done. So then you just do the same thing with number 3. Of course, this time I'll stitch on the line the first time. Fold my paper back, crease it, put my ruler down, trim off the 1/4 inch. Get my next piece of fabric. I'm going to put all of that together. Make sure that my fabric is all in there. So I kind of put my fingernail on it and hold it back. And then I put the paper back over. So everything's kind of upside down and backwards. You see what I mean? So if Misty, you're watching this, everything's upside down and backwards. I start maybe 1 or 2 stitches before the line and go 1 or 2 stitches after the line. And you sew directly on the line. I have an issue with threads. I have to always cut them off. And then you fold back that fabric, turn it over, press it. And then I go to number 4. Ruler on the line. So now I've got some stitched lines here. You just tear it. Just tear it back. Be careful not to rip your paper too much. But it's okay if you do, because you could still manage. Because I tore my paper a bit. And I don't know if it's because of the coffee stain or what. But so I have a little bit of a tear in my paper. But I think I'll be okay. I can sew on the line still. So I'm going to put this under my machine. Sew on the line. The tear only goes up to the line. And I've got my 1/4 inch foot on here, and it has this tiny space in between the toes. And that's where I put the line. And that my needle falls right to the center then. So then I didn't even put the fabric on there. I didn't even put my fabric on it. Anyway, or did I? No, I didn't. So let's do this again. I don't know what I'm nervous about this whole teaching thing, maybe. I don't know. You got to start somewhere, right? So I'm kind of just sewing along and you're watching. I'm like, I'm not a teacher. I was a trainer for work, but that was, I don't know, that's just different. That's just different, I think. We'll see if this block turns out now that I've got like double stitching on a couple of lines here. And I just can't have threads hanging out. That just drives me crazy. All right. All right, I've got 3 sides on. And now I'm going to do number 5. There's only 5 pieces on these little economy blocks, and they are so nice. Okay. And I don't know. I hope I didn't deter anybody from doing this process if you've never done it before, because it is very fun. It is so enjoyable. It's just maybe I'm not the one to be the teacher. And I'm ADD, and I have a lot of things going on in my brain. And for me to make sure that I get everything out that needs to get out that's in my head and make sure I say it all. It's one thing if I was a trainer at work. Everything was documented and you just followed a book. And I wrote the book. So kind of do things as it makes sense to me. Everybody's brain is so different and thinks about these things so differently than the next person. So it's so hard. All right. So now I've got everything sewn on this one. Now on the back side, there's lines here that tell you where do not trim on this line, but trim on this line. So you just lay your 1/4 inch ruler on the line that says do not trim on this line and trim 1/4 inch. And that way your block will be the right size. Just be careful not to trim where you're not supposed to trim. And this will be the most precise economy block. And I think that was the reason that, yeah, and the paper didn't distort or anything. I put my lines on the ruler and the paper is still right size. So yeah. But I think Kimberly Jolly said she just wanted to make papers for economy block because she had a hard time getting them consistent. And I know the frustration and the challenge behind that whole concept because I can't do it either. But there you go. We have one perfect economy block foundation paper piece on coffee stained papers. And I ripped my paper when I was folding the fabric or the papers back after stitching, and it's perfect. There's no, I mean, you can't really mess it up. You can't really mess it up. It's very simple. Now I can do a log cabin block, which is a little bit more complicated, a lot more stitching involved. These are fun. I enjoy these because it doesn't seem like piecing. I don't know how to explain it. Don't know how to explain it. All right, so let me go and grab the log cabin one. It's a lot more pieces for this one, and it's a lot smaller, as you can see. All the stitching and everything on there. Yeah. So I will leave these out as my template. And then I got to grab a paper out of the book. Oh, here it is. Grab a log cabin piece out of the book. Oh, that was a square and a square, not an economy. No wonder I was having trouble finding clip art for that. Okay. So I need to make 2 of these to finish that one. I'll put that over here. But I think I'm going to be able to manage without having to buy a whole other pad of paper from the Fat Quarter Shop. These weren't so bad. Some of them got really bad. All right, so there's the tiny little one in the very center is this little square. So you place it on the back, print side to the back. And then you could put a pin in there, but it's small. So glue is probably your best bet on this one. So I'm just going to put a dab of glue in the center of my fabric. This glue is really dry because I haven't used that one in a while. I have glue on the back of my square. And then I am going to hold it up to the light and make sure that that square is centered in that little thing. I can see my little glue dot too that's in the center there, and I'm going to squeeze it so it doesn't fall off. And then I'm going to take my cardboard ruler and put my, there's a little line between the 1 and the 2, that little line there. I'm going to put my cardboard on there, and I'm going to fold all of the paper over, the whole thing. Now, this is where it might be beneficial to do all. It kind of puts that memory in the paper that it's supposed to fold there. So when you have to go on to the next one, it makes it easier to fold it over, because sometimes it can be a little difficult when you have thick pieces of fabric. And I pull it tight so it sits right up along the edge of that cardboard. So I'm just going in a circle here, and I'm just going to do all of my pre-folding first. I did a sew along with Juicy Juice and Allison Glass mini foundation paper pieces. I did these. These are teeny tiny. Teeny. I'm saying teeny, 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 tiny. They're like skinny, like 1/8 of an inch strips of fabric when you're done. And this is a log cabin. This one. Compared to this one. It can be done. And it's not hard at all. This is the courthouse steps. This is a pineapple. I don't know what you called this one. I can't remember. The little flying geese in the corner. Yeah. This, I loved this project. I couldn't, what I had trouble with was the fabric choices, but it ended up that way. It's not the way it started. So, all right, I left off on 5. I'm going to go to 6. Yeah, when you get a lot of fabrics all sewn in, it gets really hard to fold this over. And so if you put that memory in the paper, it's very helpful. And you think you can't do it, and it doesn't make any sense. But, oh, wow, when you're done, that sense of accomplishment of completing it when your brain is completely in a dazed, confused state. Oh, my God, it's so much fun. It's like euphoria. The dopamine that's in your system when you foundation paper piece, and I don't know why it is. It's just a satisfying thing. I don't know. That's me. I could be completely wrong, and nobody else feels that. And we're on number 11, and I believe there's 12. But on these pads that you get from the Fat Quarter Shop, they give you all the cutting instructions and everything, and it's all oversized and perfect for you, so you don't even have to worry about it. And when you get this under your belt and you get the feel of it and the process down, I swear. Okay, so now I'm going back to 2 because I got all the things folded. I'm going to make sure my 1/4 inch is cut. And it's like there's an 1/8 of an inch. You don't even have to. trim it away, really. And then I grab the next piece of fabric. So number 2 is going to be a light. So I got to make sure that my template is facing the right way. And all I'm going to do is just make sure it's centered on there and make sure yep, I got plenty of fabric under there. Okay, I lay it on my machine, fold the paper back, holding the fabric down, slide it in, because you got to slide it all the way into the center. I'm going to put my needle down just in front, 1 stitch before the line. Stitch down the line and go 1 or 2 stitches after. If you go more, it's okay. I don't even have my machine. So pulling it out, you use a lot of thread too, by the way. It's fun. It is so much fun. Come over here and flip it over. All these threads. I'm going to press it with my finger first. And then I need some more steam in my iron. I need some more heat. Are you guys just watching or are you sewing along too? Because we're at 51 minutes. It might take me the next half hour, 15 minutes to finish this block up. And then I'm going to start sewing on my Cutty Sark for my London Town Sampler. All right. Oh, I need a drink. Talking so much. I was just looking at a pile of fabric that I have across the room, and I'm like, ooh, there's a nice fabric over there that would be perfect in my little pink house homestead. I have to go pull that out. All right, so now I'm on step number 3. And I just fold that paper back again, and it's so much easier to fold. And now I'll trim that off. And she gives you just enough. I mean, you're barely cutting anything off. And that's going to be a light color, which is the next size up. And I've got it laid out here by size. And then I just make sure that that fits. I've got plenty of fabric. It's more than enough. And then I lay it on my machine and fold the paper up and then slide it so carefully under my needle. 1 stitch before the line. And 1 or 2 after the line. My threads, and I'm going to go over here and I'm going to finger press this back. I'd have to watch, Kimberly did a tutorial on how to open your seams when you're foundation paper piecing. At least I'm pretty sure she did. I could have sworn she did, because I know she was going to try to make that happen. All right, so now I'm laying this in the same fashion. See, now when I'm looking at my block and I'm looking at my paper, everything's in the opposite direction. It's like facing that way. So 4 is got a color. So a lot of people will write what color needs to go on there, because otherwise you get confused. See what I mean? And I can't even explain that confusion to you unless you've done it. Fold it back, trim it, grab your next piece, put the green round, make sure that that's in there, got it all, fits in there in that space, slide it, and stitch it. My thread got stuck. Okay. Trim that thread, trim this thread, and press it. So I've already made the 4th. And we're going number 5, which is the same color. Probably don't even need, well, I do because I have those threads that have to be pulled back. Trim it, 1/4 inch, and grab the next size. Oh, I've got a Christmas candle burning in here. I just love it. Holiday cranberry. It's like, love it, love it, love it. All right. Trim the threads. Go and press it and do a little finger. Make sure everything's square. All right, so number 6, the next light colored size fabric. Those 2 little stitches extra that I put in before and after, just kind of pulling the paper away from the stitches. And then I grab the next size fabric. All you have to really do is just center it down there, knowing it's going to fit. Stitch in the line. All right. Fold it back. And you could try to fussy cut if your brain knows how it's going to look on the back side. Because I tried doing that with, what did I just do one with? I tried to fussy cut some fabric in it, and it was completely upside down. So, oh, it was a little pink homestead. It turned out upside down. So even those who are dyslexic, it's very challenging. It's a challenge, but once you get the flow down, it's very simple. And so now 7. I gotta make sure I'm using the right fabric here. I just had to make sure that this is the one I'm supposed to use. I should label it. Yeah, that's the one. Okay. it down, fold the paper back, stitch on the line. There's plenty of fabric here. So if you don't get that 1/4 inch, if your fabric hangs over the edge, it's not going to matter really all that much. Because there's lots of extra fabric. All right. So now I am on 8. And that's going to be yellow piece. Hi, Georgia. You're watching me, watching TV, and playing a game on your tablet. I love it. Oops, I forgot to trim it. Yeah, I can be entertaining, huh? You're not at all interested in foundation paper piecing. It's not like sliding. What am I hung up on? Here we go. I just have to make sure my fabric didn't fold up underneath because it wasn't sliding. I've done that before. Slid my paper under the machine with the fabric underneath it, and the fabric folded over. And I had to unstitch it. And it's okay. I've done unstitching on foundation paper piecing. Just make sure you're pulling the stitches out. So I like to pull with my seam ripper one little stitch at a time and drag it through and then pull out the whole thread at once. And use the side that doesn't have the cutter on it so that you can just pull on it. And that way you don't ruin your, split the actual paper. If you're trying to unpick it from the paper side, do it from the fabric side. And you should have your stitch length a little smaller so that the papers are easier to tear away, but it's not necessary. If you're steaming along the way, if you're a steamer, your paper gets softened up along the way and will get pulled out. Use the tweezers if you have to. And if you leave little papers in there, it's not going to matter. It's biodegradable. It'll dissolve inside your quilt every time you wash it. Here, we're coming along. Now, what did I just do? 8, so I got 9. So I'll fold that over. And because I pre-folded them, they're very simple to fold over. Trim it. And then grab the next size. Strip. And put that on there. So there, I got 2 more blocks checked off my list. When you start getting lots of fabric underneath, and I just had to catch myself on this one, your machine can wander off the line. So make sure you're stitching slow so that you stay on your line, because the more fabric there is, it kind of gets a little rocky under your presser foot. Change maybe the tension if you need to, but just go slow. Just go slow. All right, number 10. I only got 13. on here. Okay, and that's going to be a white. And I think I have to use that one. This one right here. All right. Just making sure. Yep, that's the one. Okay. And I still have my diagonal seam tape on here too, and it's kind of getting pulled up. I've got to go get some thread. I forgot to get coffee today. I'm out of coffee for tomorrow morning. So I'm going to run up to my little convenience store and get a special treat tonight and some coffee for tomorrow morning after a video. Well, you can't just go there and buy one thing, right? I always have to buy something else. Always have to buy something else. It's just how I spend so much money at this convenience store. It's like a monopoly here in town. So you really don't have any choice but this place to spend your money at. So I have loyalties and stuff. So I got 5 cents off a gallon yesterday too. So it's worth it. It's worth it. All right. 11, and then I only have 2 left. I put everything on top of my little garbage bowl over there, so I'm like piling up my garbage on my table. All right, so 10, 11, I have to do 12, and this is going to be in the long ones. Okay, I'm going to use this one first. It's 2 sizes. Okay. Number 12. Okay. Yeah, I was saying that Sugar Dew likes to use tea bag paper. You know, the little papers that they put all the teas in. You love paper piecing. I love that you love it. She used tea bag paper. You know, the papers that they fill the teas in that you put in your cup. These. That was kind of neat. And she left it in the quilt, I think, if I'm not mistaken. That was a long time ago. That was like 5 years ago, I think, that we did that sew along. Where she was showing us about tea bag paper. I don't know. This kind of just takes all the guessing out of everything. You don't have to be so precise because you just sew on the line. It's kind of like color by numbers. It's so satisfying. All right, so that one has to be this piece. Okay. There we go. My last stitch. Okay. Press it, and then we can trim the whole block. Okay, let's trim this one up. I'm really happy that I can sew on these coffee stained papers. I made sure that it's all dried out, or I'll iron it to help dry it out so that it's not like staining my fabric or anything with coffee, but I'm not all worried about that. I was worried I was not going to be able to sew anything on it, and it all worked out. I love it. And there, I have block number 3. I'm leaving all the papers in for now, but you can tear them out if you want to. But they're not hard. I will start with that last one that I did. It's already perforated. And just rip it off. And then do the last one before that, back in reverse order. This is just a mindless thing you could do sitting watching TV at night, is ripping all the papers off, or have the kids do it. So I only have one more of these to make, and then this one is done, and that would be the guava. No, that's not guava. Which one is it? It's the apple block. And then I got to do the mulberry block. So now I got to cut out the fabrics for that next too. So I've got one more of the apple blocks to do. So that's 1, 4, 8, 12, 16, 17. 17 and 16. That's how many blocks I have to make by this time next month. Can I do it? Of course I can. 113 we're in on this. I want to start sewing up my so I hope that was entertaining at the least with my mishaps there, and that it made the process look a lot less daunting for you if you've never done it before, or you like are a expert foundation paper piecing and found my method to be extremely funny. I don't know. I hope it gave you a giggle or something of that nature. Oh, I can't wait to get this quilt. I just love this quilt right here. All right. So I'm just going to sew this pieces together and just do this for now. God, I just love my rug. I'm going to take a picture for you guys and show it to you. My room is still not like completely put together because I have to have help. I didn't take the furniture out because it doesn't fit in my guest room. And the other thing is that I gotta pull everything out of that room to get the rug in there. I just folded it up and threw it on the floor. And So that room will be another thing. So I still have my desk in here. I took the bookshelf out. Now I've got everything in tubs and don't know where to store the tubs. And I can't get myself to just toss it or even give it away because I don't want it to leave my side. I don't know. It's going to be one of those things, right? So anyway, I have to lift the desk again to get the rug underneath that. But that's okay. I can deal with that. It seems a lot less cluttered. I don't know. I did more decorating over here than, storage. I'm trying to make it look a little pretty in my new color scheme that I'm going with. Instead of that, what do I do with my ruler? Just a mismatch of things. I'm trying to go blue and white. So I pulled out some fabric to recover these, but I don't know when. This chair, I don't know when that'll happen or if it'll even happen. But I'm just going to put elastic around the shape of like the backing of this and the seat. Put some elastic on it and just put it over. So I could easily take it off and wash it if I need to. Like the coffee mishap today, it got on my chair. I did take a rag to that one, but a wet rag, but I tell you, that coffee mishap today just had me cussing up a storm. And I swore to myself I wasn't going to bring another cup in with me, but I did. Like, once I went downstairs to kind of get away from it for a minute, I came back up with a cup of coffee. I don't know. You just can't learn from your mistakes. I don't know what happened. I haven't been using my little bobbins. And I probably can use those thread catchers when I'm sewing on the foundation paper piecing. I just didn't even think of it. It's kind of easier not to. For a minute there, I thought I had it upside down. Okay. Almost done putting my whole together. I love it. This blue is so pretty. And I'm putting it in the next block too, the Liberty one. Because I'm only using this as one piece on this one. All right. Almost. I got to start on it. I love it. Okay. Hold on. I like using the terminology because I didn't know what some of these were. Because I was like, oh, there's that little gray square up there. I'm like, that's the crow's nest. Duh. Yippee skippy. These little tiny pieces. I have a hole. And now I have to make all of this look like a sail. I can't wait. Oh, it has me sewing the bird. I'm skipping that part and going right to the jib. I suppose that's what the sail is called, a jib. Yep, I guess so. I have to use my template again. So in this case, in the book, the other side of the template was just a picture of the quilt. And that's this, there's two of these in the book. So I just ripped out the page and I'm going to cut this one out instead of tracing it out because I'll just use this one. Okay. Oh my goodness. I don't think I have the brain power for this right now. But I think I'll cut it out though. I don't know. I'm afraid I'm gonna make a mistake, to be honest with you. It's a little late in the evening. Morning, this is a morning brain project. Do you have things like that? This is a morning brain project right here for the jib. I could put the bird together. Where did I put? Oh, the bird fabrics are right here. Okay. I have to cut backgrounds. Why does this bird look like it's put together differently than the last bird? Because it is. It's a different kind of bird. I thought it was the same bird, just reversed. It's not. It's a different kind of bird. Okay. Again, morning brain. See, that's where I'm at this evening. When it gets late in the day, 8:30 is probably the time frame when I start to just fall to pieces. Because I used to go to bed at like 7 o'clock at night. Yeah. So I've got a whole new schedule going on here. And I sleep until after 5 sometimes. It's weird. It's weird. Anyway. And I had a good day working today, and yeah, we're having a good day. So you guys, I'm going to call it a night. My brain wants to start shutting down. I can feel it kind of stumbling in there. And so I will be back tomorrow. So tomorrow is Friday. There is a new Red Sky at Night assignment, and I'm already 3 weeks behind. So I'll share what the assignment is based on the designer's schedule. I won't share where I am in the process, but I'm about 3 weeks behind. So I'll share what the designer's schedule is and what what the assignment is. And then Saturday's assignment for Hometown Holiday Sampler. I'm doing mine monthly now for the rest of the thing till September. So I'm not following their schedule, but there is I'll talk about the assignment for that and where I'm at and what my plans are, I guess, for both of those projects. But that would be the topic of discussion for tomorrow's video. And any new sew-alongs that I find this evening or tomorrow, I find them like moments before the video. So that just reminded me I have to put those links in the video description below. So I'll do that right away so I don't forget. But you guys have a good rest of your evening. Sleep well and have a fabulous Friday. I will see you tomorrow evening, Friday evening at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, right here. And we'll talk about Red Sky at Night and Hometown Holiday Sampler. Have fun, you guys, and I'll see you tomorrow, okay? Good job. Talk to you later, okay? Bye now.